Futures trading is the very thing that differentiates crypto traders from forex traders. This is exactly what makes cryptocurrency easy, simple, and much more profitable. I believe easy and simple are kind of the same thing. But you get the point. Now, you would argue this if you're conversant with the industry that there's something known as futures trading in the forex world. Then what is the difference between that and crypto futures trading? Well, let's start off by defining what futures or futures trading is before we can actually highlight the differences and where the magic happens. Futures trading is basically betting on the future. Yes, I use the word betting because just like every kind of betting, there's always a form of probability. You're never certain, but based off of educated guess, based off of certain factors, you can most likely say this and this is what is going to happen. And so for futures trading, it's basically you betting on where the price is going to go to from where it is. For example, Bitcoin. Let's say you go into Bitcoin where Bitcoin was $30,000 in price, and you want to make a bet that Bitcoin is going to go up in price and possibly go to 30,000, 35,000, 40,000, whatever amount it gets to. But once you enter that trade or you take that trade in a future setting in cryptocurrency, while Bitcoin was in $30,000, by the time it goes up to make $35,000, you become in profit. You make more money from whatever money you've put in. Here's the kicker though. You don't have to buy $30,000 worth of Bitcoin for you to take that trade. Neither do you need to have close to even that amount for you to become profitable in that trade. You could use a fraction of that amount and still make money trading the direction of the total market cost. And this same principle applies when the market is going the opposite way. Like I said, betting which direction the market is going to go. So if the market is also selling, then you become in profit if you said the market is selling. But if you put your money where your mouth is and say the market is going to go up, but the market decides to go down, then you lose money. So yeah, that's the idea around it. But then what makes futures trading different from forex trading? Because this same thing applies to forex trading too. You see, there's something known as margin and leverage. Well, in simple terms, it's called leverage. But the extent at which you take advantage of this leverage is what I like to define, or what is known as margin. And I'm going to explain both things for you. Even though they might seem the same, but actually very different. You see, when it comes to forex trading, for you to really make much more money, the amount of capital you have really matters. You can't carry $100, $500, or a $1,000 capital and over leverage on it, thereby using higher lot size, which will give you more profit to take that trade. Because if you take a $500 capital, take a lot size of 1.0 on a very volatile market and go into that trade, the moment that market goes against you, which means decides to sell when you've put in for a buy or decides to buy when you put in for a sell, you're going to be losing a very significant amount of money, and in a short period of time, you're going to blow your account. And so what people do is they tend to apply for prop firm accounts. And this is where you have to see people use $50, $100, $300 to buy an account that is worth $100,000, $200,000, so they could leverage more on the market. This is very common in the forex world when it comes to currency pairs, stock, and so on and so forth. Now, how is this basically done? Let's say you want to buy a prop firm account from Anomaly, which is one place I would recommend. This is not an ad, but it's obviously is a platform that I know the person behind it. And yeah, they do pretty well. So you want to buy a prop firm account from Anomaly and for about $100,000. Well, the prop firm account you want to buy is an account of $100,000. But this will cost you around $100 or $50 to buy, right? This is just an example. So you use the $100 to buy this $100,000 account. You don't really get the account immediately in most cases. Most cases, you have to go through certain challenges before you're given that account. Now, that challenge is not just so they want to make sure you lose your money, but they want to be sure you actually know what you're doing and you don't just want to gamble with $100,000. I know. I said futures trading or trading in general might seem like gambling, but here's the thing. It's an educated guess. Based off of a certain body of knowledge, you can accurately predict what the market is going to do. And this is basically what those challenges are meant for. So when you pass this challenge, you'll be given this $100,000 account for you to actually now trade in the market. And when you given this $100,000 account with conditions, like if you lose about 10% of the account, everything will be taken away from you, or 20% of the account. But if you make around 10%, 20%, or whatever profits you make, then you take a higher percentage of the profit for yourself, let's say 70%, and the other 30% from the profit goes into the people you bought the account from, which is either Anomaly or FTX or whatever platform it is. And this is how Profirm works and how people have been able to take advantage of the Forex market. But you see, with cryptocurrency, you do not need to pay for a Profirm account or even bother buying a Profirm account, because you can do this same thing without going through those challenging steps, or yes, basically challenges, or even waiting for days or 3 days for you to get this account. You can do the same thing by simply a click of a button. Yes, and this is where margin and leverages comes in. Now, you're using whatever platform to run your crypto trading. Like, for example, a lot of people tend to use centralized exchanges, which is typically where you can actually run Forex markets in the crypto world, like Binance, Bybit, BitGet, KuCoin, and so on and so forth. Let's use Bybit, for example. Now, if you're going to Bybit to probably trade the futures market, you're going to see the current market price, the currency pair, or the crypto coins you're trying to edge against each other. Let's say Bitcoin against USDT, whatever it is. You're going to see those pairs, and then you're going to see a buy or sell market. But then you're also going to see something right below this buy or selling market thing. Is a bar that gives you in multiplication 5x, 10x, 2x, or whatever kind of x. That bar there is the leverage that is given to you. It is what Profirm do for you, but this time it is being done for you live, but in one trade. Well, that specific trade you're trying to take. Margin is like a security deposit that you put in. Instead of paying the $30,000 to actually trade Bitcoin upfront, you can probably deposit $3,000 and pull that back to 10x, which multiplies that $3,000 by 10, automatically making it $30,000, which you are using to trade the market. And this way, any profit you make or percentage you make on $30,000 obviously is way higher. So if you make 10% on $30,000 or even 2% on $30,000, you can see the significant difference from making 2% on $3,000. And this is what margin does for you in crypto. Now, what is actually leverage? Remember, I said they're quite similar, almost the same thing. Leverage is how you amplify your trade using margin. So in the margin call, I called it margin call, you're probably moving that bar to 10x and making a huge amount of money on a $30,000, even though you deposited $3,000. The whole of those risks, the whole of that system is what is called leverage. So in simple terms, margin is equals to power plus danger. The higher the leverage, the higher the potential danger, well, gain or loss that you make. So if you use the $3,000 and use a 10x margin call to give yourself a higher leverage of obviously 10x, you're going to make it way more higher than you deposit into your account if you hit about 5% or 10% using the $30,000 account. But if you lose on that account, you can quickly liquidate your $3K that you put in there faster than you know, just the same way you will make much profit. So you need to know, do you really want to take this risk? And this is why I said it's educated guess. It is not pure betting. You could do this multiple times and lose every single time. But with educated guess, you could do this 5 times and win 4 out of 5 times. Okay, let's be on the safe side. 3 out of 5 times. And that's good profits if you know what you're doing. And so the long and short of it, literally long versus short, buy versus sell, is the fact that if you're longing the market, you're basically betting that the price would rise. So you buy now and sell later. But if you're shorting the market, you're basically betting that the price will fall. And so you still buy now and sell later when the price falls. The buying and selling and every single thing is being done or handled by the broker, and you're also being paid by the broker, which is either the central exchange you're using, like the Binance, Bybit, and so on and so forth. The whole thing is being done on the system. You only put your money to actually give you a leverage. Let's say a buying ticket. You're not really holding any of those coins at any point in time. Well, except the moment you enter that trade, then you're holding that coin either in loss or in gain. But you don't have to buy it and keep it in your wallet and keep it for days. You only buy into that coin the moment you open that trade and exit the trade the moment you exit the trade. What are the risks that you must know? As juicy and incredible as this sounds, there are risks that applies to this. One of the major risks you need to understand is volatility. Because you're using a 3K account and trading 5% or 2%, it would make sense that you would not lose much if you use that same percentage on a 3K account. But if you use $3,000 to leverage yourself 10x, 5x, or whatever x, multiplying that your 3,000 account, whatever percentage you're going to be making or losing obviously will be higher and pegged to the standard of 30K, not 3K. But the brokers are not going to lose money on your behalf, because when the negative or the money is being taken, it's from your 3K that you literally deposited that they're going to take from. So yeah, volatility is high, and so you have to be careful, not just careful, but cautious of the margin calls you want to take each time. And so this also automatically leads to liquidation. Yeah, you have to be obviously conscious that, do you really want to take this trade and liquidate? What percentage do you want to take into this trade? What are you willing to risk? Where is your stop loss going to be? And the total exit. Have an exit plan, have a trading plan. This is not a video that teaches you how to trade, basically just to tell you what futures trading is. And I hope you have a pretty good idea of what futures trading is so far. And based off of everything I've said, I would assume you already know how to start futures trading. But if you don't, here are simple steps on how to start futures trading. The first thing you want to do is pick a broker or an exchange. I keep using the word broker because that's the term used in Forex world. But yes, pick an exchange. Bybit, BitGet, whatever account. I'm just calling these ones because they are popular. None of these things I'm saying are sponsored by any of this platform, but anyone you decide to pick is up to you. The next thing you want to do is deposit funds. Typically, since it's an exchange, you want to deposit in USDT. You don't have to put it in any coin. Deposit in USDT. Use that USDT to trade any pair, which means Bitcoin to USDT, Bitcoin to Ethereum, Solana to whatever thing, to trade any pair, right? Learn how to read the chart, the trading chart, price action. Just learn price action. You don't need to go and watch 100 and something videos. All you need to are two things. Number one, get one mentor that can teach you these things. If you want me to mentor you, then join my Telegram and WhatsApp group, and you can contact me for me to mentor you directly. If you can get one mentor that can teach you this thing directly, also get the book known as the Trading Bible. It's a very simple PDF that almost every trader has. If you do not have it, then also join my Telegram and WhatsApp group, and I'll be dropping it there for you guys, along with our mentorship program. Then after you've picked an exchange, deposited your funds, well, you should get mentorship before depositing your funds, but after you've deposited your funds, then you want to go ahead and pick your leverage. Don't deposit any amount and go start using 10x leverage immediately. I only use 10x in this video as a reference, as an example. You can start with 2x, 3x, maximum of 5x. And platforms can be crazy to give you 100x actually. You don't want to know what happens when you use an 100x leverage on a trade. And then finally, set your safe nets, you know, where you can fall back on. This is what I call stop loss, or what is known as stop loss. Always have an entry, exit, and a safe plan before you get into any trade. Your safe plan is your stop loss, your entry is where you enter, and your exit is your take profit. No matter what happens, either the market is going past it or does not really get to it, always have your take profit. And with that said, you now fully understand what futures trading is and how you can become profitable in crypto futures trading from today. Bye for now, and catch up on the next one.